Hi there, welcome to this mobility method with me, Rob. Hope you're well. Welcome to the gym tin. Okay, so grab yourself a pint of water and let's find a space. Close the doors, let people know you're taking part in a fitness training session, and let's go for it. Okay, so from here, find yourself a space, check around one way, check around the other, make sure you got plenty of room. This class is a nice relaxed session, so put some nice quiet tunes on in the background, and we're going to look at can we improve your range of movement and your flexibility around the hips, the pelvis, and also the shoulders. So let's tuck our pelvis forward, let's lift our chest up nice and high to the ceiling, dropping our arms down by the side, our thumbs facing forward and our fingers spread out nice and wide. Your hands are in your pocket, take your hands out your pocket, let your shoulders drop back into position, shake your fingers out nicely. Now I want you to close your eyes and I just want you to feel where your body is. Straight line through from the ankle, through the knee, through the hip, through to the shoulders. Keep your shoulders back into position and lift. So we're rocking over the balls of the feet, over the knuckles of the feet, and just climbing up here. From here, we're going to raise our arms up wide into a T position. Our thumbs are going to face up nice and high. We're going to web our fingers out nice and wide. We're going to stretch out here. We're going to lean back into it slightly, close the eyes and feel where you are. Nice, slow, deep breath in. Slow, controlled, deep breath out. Raising those arms up wider, out into a wide position here. Again, closing the eyes, rocking over from your heels to the ball of your feet. I want you to feel that your ankles can flex forward and back so that your big toe to your little toe are rolling over the top. Your knuckles are coming down to the ground each time. We extend it out strong and long in the arms. From here, we're going to extend the arms up high and forward. And then we're going to lean back through it. So we're arching through, keeping the toes moving forward and back. We're keeping the feet so that they're a fist gap apart, the pelvis tilted forwards into position. So we're coming a little bit more what's called posterior tilted. So we're coming forward here. Keep that elongation through the body and the rocking through from big toe to little toe each time. You've got your left hand on top of your right, swap it over for the right hand on top of the left. Keep that movement through here. Slowly releasing back out wide. Planting the heels down to the floor, stretch down to your right side and slowly back up again. So we got a side bend raise here. Slow control down to the side, lift back up again. Now, concentrate on how far you can tilt down to that right side before coming back up. Three more here. Looking good. Two more here. Slow reach down to the side of the knee. One more. Change for the other. Again, feet nice and parallel to each other. Reaching as far down to the side knee as you can. Slow controlled movements. So what we're trying to do here is just get some early movement from the pelvis and also how the hips, the femur, the long bone here joins in to that hip joint there. One more here. And let's swap over to the side. So the right hand is going to reach down to the side of the right knee. That left hand is going to come up and over. Now this hand over the top, we're going to reach towards the side wall. You might find quite a big lengthening through the side of the body as we banana over. Hopefully you're going to find a number of things. One is maybe a stretch of the external abdominal oblique here. These muscles fan down this side here, help with your breathing. You might find it in the intercostals here as the ribs are kind of extending apart here. If you lean back a little bit further, you might find that pronounce all of those exercises there. If you tilt forward slightly, you might find a little bit more into the lats. It's the big fan muscle here that pulls our elbow into the side. And as you're working through here, you might find you're just increasing that range. You might find as you come back up, it's a little bit achy. Shake it out, roll it out. It will shimmy on the shoulders as you're pulling it back. Take a walk around, shake out your hips. You can feel that this side here is a little bit achy. This side is feeling nice and stretched. So we're going to swap it over. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to reach that left hand down to the side of the left knee. Right elbow is going to point up to the ceiling. We're just going to tilt to the side. Take note of your flexibility here and the range that you've got. How much mobility have you got? We try and keep this arm so it's in line with your ear. The other hand reaching down to the side of the knee. Toe to heel flat down. Big long stretches through. And over time, you're going to start to feel you get a bit more range out of it. This top hand, if we bring ourselves into a bit of a teapot position here, so this hand that's reaching down to the side of the knee, now comes onto your hip. Let's see if we can reach this top hand now over the top. Reach a little bit further. And again, if you lean forward slightly, you might find it, again, this external oblique working hard. You might find some rolls of body fat here getting in the way. You might find you're getting a little bit more of a stretch through the intercostals here in these ribs. Just keep this pulsing here. You might find these fingers are starting to get a little bit fuzzy. If that's the case, come off it because you're pressing a little bit more on the brachial artery. You might find if you come a little bit further forward with the hips, I've had a bit more of a stretch through. Slowly come out of that. Well done. Again, walk it out. Shake out the arms. Looking good. Hinge to forward. Take the feet out wide. Turn the toes in so the big toes are nicely turned in slightly so the second toes are nice and parallel. Hinge from the hips and drop yourself down. Nice big stretching through the back of the legs. An extension out of the lower back. And then we're going to reach our arms forward. And then we're going to try and place our fingers to the floor. Relax and slowly come back up. Shake it out. Roll your hips. Now, if you couldn't get your hands to the floor, okay, you might want to find something like a low bench that you can walk your fingers on because you're going to walk your arms forward and back again. It could be that you turn around and use your step on your stairwell. It could be that you're using your fingers on top of a sofa. It doesn't matter how much of a hinge we're going to get here, but it is going to be about how we can walk our arms forward. Okay, so if you can't reach your hands to the floor, try and assess what you can do. You can also help yourself get lower by taking your feet wider, because as our feet come wider, we sink down a bit lower. Again, we're going to turn those feet so the big toes are slightly turned in, and we're going to hinge. We're going to drop down, extend our arms, and we're going to walk our arms forward. Now take notice as to what happens in the back of your calves. They're going to get a bit tight, and you're going to might find your heels are going to want to turn inwards. I want you to keep them out, so we're going to stretch all the way through the back of the legs. Walk those fingers back in. Walking our hands back up our thighs, coming back through into standing. Curl through the body, so the last thing to come up is your chin. Stretching through. We're going to do the same exercise, but this time we're going to focus on the breathing. You might see if you can take your feet just a little bit wider, lengthening the inner thighs. These adductor muscles here. We're going to hinge again. Chin's down on the chest, dropping down. Again, we're going to walk our arms forward, hands forward. Can you drop your chin on your chest a little bit further as you reach forward even further? Should feel a nice direct stretch all the way through the back of the legs. And with this exercise as well, the challenge is to have sort of like a fingertip touch to the floor as you're moving. So there's no direct pressure into the ground. And we're slowly taking ourselves back up through into standing again. Chin, the last thing to raise. We take the arms up wide, we extend, we lean back. And we're going to go again. Remember that deep breathing. Hinge and fold. Walk the fingers wide up the feet. And walk forwards. Slow, controlled, deep breaths in and out. Slowly walking yourself back. Now, as you come out of this one, keep your chin down and just place your hands on top of your thighs. Can you get the knee flexion out? I.e., if you're in bent knee position, can you give it a bit of extension here so you're lengthening the back of your legs? If you can, hold it here. If you can't and your legs are already straight, hold it here. Hold that position. Slowly pull yourself back up through into standing. Again, the chin, the last thing to come up as we stretch and stand. Push up and extend. Lean back and extend up overhead. Come up on the ball of the feet. Slowly drop back down and release. Step yourself in, shake it out. Grab yourself a drink of water. Well trained. Coming back to that same position, challenge your body. Okay, so feet are coming wide, pelvis driven forward, strong straight line position through our body. Imagine a sheet of glass and you are that sheet of glass. Okay, we're going to break that piece of glass because we're going to hinge and we're going to drop down again, chin down on the chest. From here, we're going to walk our hands forward and we're going to reach as far as we feel comfortable. And there's a couple of observations here. Hold that position. You need to feel big toe to little toe flat down to the floor. You also need to feel toes to heel flat down to the floor. We're now going to work on rotation. So we're going to take those hands around on a hemisphere. Take it to about 40 degrees to the right. So you're going to go all the way around. Maybe you could get beyond. Maybe you could get to 50, 60 degrees. You want to get to a position where you can keep those legs fairly straight. Your torso is turned with you, and after a while, you might be able to get a bit more range. You want to try and get those arms as long as you can. We've got the extension through the shoulders. Got those hips working hard. Going to walk back again. Hips sunk back. Toes turned in. Walking around again to the side. Reaching around to position. Again, bottom sunk back into position. Lovely stretch through the arms. Great stretch through the back of the legs. Take the walk back again. Reach your arms as far forward as you feel comfortable. Slowly walk your hands back towards your toes. Walk your hands up your shins, over the top of your thighs. Extending from the hip. Remember, the chin's the last thing to come up as you slowly come back up through into standing. Push your pelvis forward. Lift the arms out wide. Reach up and extend. See if you can come up onto the ball of the feet and extend the arms up overhead. Dropping the heels back. And release. Step in, walk around. Release off the hamstrings, kick your bottom up. Take a drink of water. Coming back through into standing. Feet up nice and wide. Toes turn in. Side bend. And then over to the other side. Keep the hands just on top of the hips. And trying to give a bit more extension each time. Now this time we're going to bring our fingers so they're facing into the small of the back. And we're going to try the same movement here. Tilt to one side. Compression. And then arching back to the other side. More of a stretch here. You might find it into the QL, the quadratus lumborum up here. Joins from the ribs down into the top of the hip. Back over to the side again. You might find it just tighten your back. You might not find any stretch whatsoever. Everyone feels the stretch differently. But if you sit in a desk all day long, pretty much guarantee that you can feel this movement here. 2 more here. Pelvis is driven forward, the shoulders back, chest is back. Try and arch through your lower back so you're lifting your chest up to the ceiling. Tilt back the other side again. Two more here. One more here. And release. Shake it out. Okay, so from here, we're going to drop down onto the floor. Take it into your child's pose position. So we're going to have our feet together and our knees out wide. If you struggle getting into this kneeling position, grab a cushion and place it underneath your bottom so you're resting onto that position there. You're going to have your chest lifted up nice and high, shoulders back into pose. Hands are on top of your thighs. And from here, you're going to roll down into a stretch position here. From here, your forehead comes down to the floor. You feel a nice big lengthening through the lower back. And we're going to walk our arms away from our knees. Sit yourself down a little bit lower. Feel that stretch increase. This time, we're going to turn our palms so they're facing up. Turn your palms facing down again. And see if you can get your forehead down towards the floor. If you struggle to get into this position here, with your bottom back over the heels, that's fine. Just keep practicing this. You should be able to get yourself into a position where your arms are fairly extended straight out in front of you and your bottom back over your heels. From here, we walk our hands back to our knees, sitting back up into straight. And then we're going to lean back. Now, you might find that you need to use your hands down beside you to support. And if you have got the strength, you might be able to arch back into this position here. Hold it. And then slowly, controlled, Pull yourself back up straight. From here, we're going to walk down again. Stretch, stretch, and drop down. Take a slow, controlled, deep breath in. Close the eyes. Slowly sigh out. Walk the hands further away, giving a bit more extension through the arms and the shoulders. Turn your palms so they're facing up to the ceiling. See if you can sit back down into it. Can you walk your arms just that little bit further away? From here, walking forward and then laying down on the floor. Stretch your arms out long. Push your arms as far away as you can. Chin is resting on the floor. Extend your legs as long as you can behind you, pointing your toes behind. Target here, trying to get the chest down to the floor. Nice big stretch all the way through the whole of the body. From here, you're going to walk your feet back behind you, lengthening your legs out. Plantar flexing, i.e. pointing your toes as far behind you as you can. Take a slow, controlled, deep breath in. Take a slow, controlled, deep breath out. And repeat. Slow, deep breath in. Slow, controlled, deep breath out. Two more here. Let's go. Deep breath in. Slow, controlled, deep breath out. One more. Let's go. Slow, controlled, deep breath in. Slow, controlled, deep breath out. And release. Slowly walking your hands back down to your side of your body into a press-up position. Take yourself back down through into child's pose position before slowly coming back through into standing. From there, we're going to forward hinge. Slowly release, coming back up through into standing. Stretch your arms up overhead and release. Feel the change in your body. Well done. Very, very good. Highly recommend after that class that you have a magnesium bath. So if you've got some magnesium chloride or some Epsom salts, stick that in a hot bath, 20 minutes as hot as you can take without giving yourself chilblains, and just soak into it for a good 20 minutes. Let it go. Everyone on Zoom is like, this is great. Well done. So clearly effective class for really working your pelvis compound, but also hips, pelvis, but also what happens into the shoulders. And you should find that you stand in a really much taller position. You've got a lovely arch in your back as well. If I can ever help, get in contact. If you did that live, hashtag live. If you did it replay, hashtag the replay. Let me know how you got on with it. Grab yourself a good drink of water. Cheers. I'll see you next time for the next one. Really well trained. That was awesome.